All right, one final question before we finally predict. This is just a fun one. I'll start it, but in your perfect world, who do you want to win the World Series? For me, I'll start. I would have the Royals and Brewers. I just think it'd be fun. Two small market teams. Two teams that are just good baseball teams. They're not necessarily star-studded. They just get it done. They win. I mean, with Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez and like Jackson Chourio. Can't name any of the starting pitchers for the Brewers, but all their starting pitchers, obviously, they've done something right. I think those would just be two fun teams to see. I personally would like to see the Royals win. Don't think it's going to happen. I just really like the idea of Witt being that next up-and-coming star and Salvador Perez still hanging on, still doing very well. But he's definitely the old regime of the Royals, and Bobby Witt coming in and starting a whole new reign with the Royals, I think is fun. So just those two worlds colliding is just fun to see. But who would you pick, Kellen, to win the World Series?
Yeah, I'll go next because obviously these two guys have teams in the World Series in the playoffs, so they might just be perfect world, my team wins, which is fair.
Yeah.
My team's not in it. I agree with Sam. I'm going to go with Cleveland and Milwaukee, though. I like the small markets. I just remember Kansas City. It's fresh in my mind. They've won a World Series. I've seen them do it. It was fun. They beat the Mets. It was great.
They swept us.
That doesn't surprise me.
They swept us in that year.
Sorry.
Salty.
Sorry to really
salty.
Yeah,
4 games to 0. They
didn't even know.
Yeah.
I think Kansas City would be fun, but I just think Cleveland needs it. I think they just are itching. I know they got their NBA championship, but like their football team sucks. Their basketball team kind of is not very good anymore. The Eastern Conference is just loaded, but like they've also been there. They lost to the Cubs. Ramirez wants it, but I think Milwaukee would be the best. I think Milwaukee beating Cleveland would be so fun for the same reasons. One, it's a team no one expected. Two, it's a team small market. Most of us can hardly name more than 4 or 5 players on the team. It's just one of those teams where you're like, what's going on? And when you get to 10 years down the line, you go, yeah, Milwaukee won it in 2024. You're gonna go, yeah, who was on the team? Christian Yelich was hurt.
Yeah. Just good baseball.
That's all. It's like that's the type of thing that you just Contreras. Like, there's not a lot of guys, so I think seeing Milwaukee win would be fun for that. Phil,
all right, Phil, perfect world.
Are you going with your perfect world?
It means perfect world. That means it's perfect, right?
So the Mariners win. I understand. I agree.
So
the one team.
So a perfect world, we kick out the NL. And we just do the Orioles and the Yankees in the World Series.
Okay.
And it'd be a best of, and just for the fun of it, it'd be a best of 9.
Okay.
This is a terrible world.
You gotta win 5 games. No, okay.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
Arms would be like hitting the floor while guys are like
you wouldn't have any pitchers
hanging
left.
off the guy's shoulder.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, I'd like to see the Orioles and the Phillies. I think that'd be right up 95. It's like
right down the road.
It's like an hour, not even an hour to get up there. Cool. To be that close, I think would be
that'd be cool.
Big rivalry going on there. So
all right, perfect world, Nick. Who you got?
So I really like what everyone else has said. Phil, I will say, on your point, I really wish the seeding finished differently. So we could have had. I wish we could have had a Yankees, Orioles, ALCS would have been really cool, and I was rooting for that. But unfortunately, the seeding didn't fit out that way. But I already mapped out, like what I wish would happen. But like perfect world, you see, the Guardians knock out the Astros or whatever, or the Royals knock out the Astros. And then just from out of nowhere, let's get a 2000 World Series rematch.
Okay.
Let's have the Mets make a run.
Yeah.
Let's have a Subway Series like Phil
That would be
saying.
fun.
Let's do a proximity
No,
thing.
that'd be terrible.
And wait, here's the cherry on top. I literally thought of this while you guys were all talking.
The Mets win.
Winner gets Juan Soto. No hold the bar.
That would be actually. I would be so into that. Actually, that would be electric. I'd be okay with that.
But I think if that were the thing, I think regardless, this isn't related. I do think the Mets make a run at Soto. Mm-hmm. But what could happen if, like I said earlier, that we have to put a ring on Soto's finger? So let's let the Yankees win the World Series. Obviously, in my dream scenario.
Hey, it's his perfect world.
Let's have a Mets Yankees thing. We get to beat the Mets. We get to keep Juan Soto, and it's a fantasy world. Come on.
Heck yeah. I agree with it.
That sounds tough.
If I were a Yankees fan, but that's never going to happen, so I do not want them to win. But
I kind of had 2 fantasies for this whole thing.
Yeah.
All right.
The 2 options.
Yes. All right. Thanks for listening to the Kinda Athletic podcast. Please like and subscribe to all our social media platforms, and make sure to come back next week to hear more from the Kinda Athletic podcast.